specific thing though? I mean, obviously Tumblr and Twitter was sort of the vessel for spreading Night Vale out, but was there like a specific device or a character or a plot moment that sort of everybody hooked into?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, we have not been able to identify any specific start to the whole Tumblr thing. Because we had famous people mention us before this all happened, and those were nice little bumps and like people noticing us. They were pretty short-lived and pretty small. I mean, the whole thing happened very soon after, spoiler alert, Cecil and Carlos got together. So one suspects that had something to do with it.
I'm only on episode 18, so thanks.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, and it was a thing where that, I mean, the whole thing with Night Vale is we never wrote it with any sort of particular audience in mind. We never wrote it with having an audience in mind. It was just sort of something we were doing.
Now you record this stuff, and you guys may already know this, but I'm kind of interested. You are sent a script, and you record by yourself. You're not all in a room together recording stuff. And there are inherent challenges in cutting through copy and recording by yourself. So what's your process of dealing with what's very dense kind of prose?
Yeah, it's very. So I take a script that is sent to me by Joseph and Jeffery, and because of the nature of this theater company that Jeffery and I were a part of in New York, which kind of relies upon producing a great amount of material and writing and performing that material very quickly, I think it's just kind of in our nature to produce fast. And don't necessarily get caught up in what is the most correct answer, but what is the answer that feels right in that moment, and just go with it. And a lot, honestly, that's a lot of the basis of how I decide how to perform these scripts is, you know, I read it, and then I read it again, and then I take a section and think, okay, it would be funny if I did this, or I think the most amount of background work I do is if a character appears that I know that has already appeared, I'll go back and try and find them and be like, do they have a funny voice? Did I do something special for them 25 episodes ago? Or I also like to listen to what the episode is that will be right before that episode and think, oh, that was a particularly creepy episode. So maybe this one could stand to have a little bit more lightness to it, or a little more comedy. Because a lot of what the great stuff about what Joseph and Jeffery write is that, depending on how it's performed, it could be any number of, it can be interpreted any number of ways.